There is a Benin proverb that goes, you must attend to your business with a vendor in the market and disregard the noises of the market. From the day I was born, I started hearing so many noises in my world. That is my marketplace. These noises were from the people that cared most about me. My father, my mother, the church, the school, my busybody neighbor who was looking out for me. The effect that this had on me was it turned me into a professional people pleaser. It meant I was constantly looking for validation, even from the people that did not deserve me to do that. That is me in the middle, and those are my two sisters. I was told by relatives later in life that my mother had to bribe me to sit quietly for that photo to be taken with food. Poor mother. I was also told that I was a child who had a mind of her own. When something did not go my way, I would scream the house down. When something went my way, I would talk about it. But as I got older, something started to happen. The society I was born into told me that as a girl, I should not say some things. They told me that when elders are speaking, I should be quiet, because as a child, I should have no opinion. Something started to happen to me. I started lowering my voice until I got to a stage where I could not speak anymore. I could not even tell people what I wanted. My name is Yvonne Mudukwe Telford. I am a fashion designer. Meanwhile, I need to let you know, I don't have a fashion background. As I started my journey to discovering myself, I discovered myself at the age of 40. Yes, 40. I discovered that the day we're born on this earth, we're given something really special, a personalized compass. That compass is there to work for us. That compass is there to get us onto our path. And that path is meant to lead us to our purpose, the reason why we're here on earth. And it's our duty to find that purpose. When I was about 4 or 5 years old, I wanted to have a shop that will create fabulous clothes for women, just like my mother. And I wanted to be rich. I thought my mother was rich, she was financially independent. But that dream was never meant to be. I even had a name for the shop, Stray Cats. Stray Cats was a word that I heard at that age, and I thought to myself, oh, that's a cool word. But I didn't even know the meaning. But that dream died. That dream died because my father wanted me to be a lawyer, so off I went to study law. Later on in life, I found out that my father's childhood dream was to be a lawyer himself, which made me question, was he actually living his dead dreams through me? Or, like other Nigerian parents at that particular time, did he want me to have a respectable career to bring pride to the family? As I got older at home, I was constantly compared to my sisters, Larry and Remy. I was a girl who was bold. I had a big mouth. I questioned everything. That wasn't meant to be. I wasn't meant to speak. And they started comparing me to Remy and Larry. Larry, beautiful, neat. She was always cleaning. And very hardworking. She made my parents happy. Remy was quiet, obliging, and very clever. So what I started to do, as my parents compared me, I wanted to make their life easier. So off I went to create a mold. I created something that would make me be like Remy and Larry. I I became a fake version of Remy and Larry. And one thing I've discovered in life is that you can never, ever, ever, Nigerians call it impossicant, be any other person. Because when you're born, guess what happens? You're given a flavor. It's your own special flavor that can never be replicated. It's yours. And you can never replicate any other person's flavor. You become fake. You have a smell. The smell is unpleasant because you're not living your life. You've taken somebody else's flavor. So off I went to secondary school. I had the best friend, Bukola. Bukola was cool. She had a sister in America who was sending her cool clothes. Bukola lived in the best part of Kano, where I was born, the GRA, that's what they call it. I lived in Sabongeri, not so cool. And the boys loved Bukola. So, one day I saw Bukola. She wore this really nice shirt. I'd never seen anybody dressed like that. And those ties that men wear, what do they call them? You know, the long ones, with a pair of jeans. This was in the 90s. I thought, I'm going to copy Bukola. This was after I'd copied the way Bukola walks, her handwriting, the way she crosses her legs. I'd copied everything. Now I'd moved on to her fashion. So off I went to Okrika Market. Now, you need to know that Okrika Market is where they sell second-hand goods. You know those things you give to charity shops? The one that they cannot sell, they send it to Africa, we buy it, and we think we look cool. So for an afternoon jump, which is an afternoon party, I thought I was going to dress like Bukola. I could not find a long tie, so I bought a velvet bow tie in the heat of Kano, which is very close to Sahara Desert. Put on my shirt, bought a skirt, off I went to the party. Got there, Bukola was there, she knew I was copying her. Every other person knew I was copying Bukola. I started sweating like a Christmas goat. I thought to myself, never again in my life would I copy somebody. But guess what, I couldn't stop. By then, I'd lost myself. I didn't even know who I was anymore, so how can I stop? But something happens all the time. The real me, once in a while, will pop out. When I'm in trouble or somebody is trying to do something unfair to me, the real me with a big mouth will come out and speak up. The real me was like an ogbanje, it comes and goes. The real me did not want to be like my mother. She felt my mother was nice, like people described her, very flowery. She never stood up for herself. When she died at 35, she never really experienced what it was like to be her true self. What a waste. In 1996, I told my father I wanted to come to London. He was against it. He gave me £250. He said a prayer for me and bought my KLM tickets. I thought London was going to be a new beginning. When I got to London, I started reading fashion magazines where the fashion editor felt I should wear just blacks and blues. That would turn me into a classic lady, you know, a beautiful lady, very chic, French. And I threw away the clothes that make me happy, my flamboyant, beautiful clothes. I would not even go into my love life. It was a disaster. I'll go on a date, and when you're going on a date, you need to know that it's a negotiation between you and your date. You've got to come, you've got to go there as yourself. Because that person is telling you, this is what I'm ready to accept. You are telling that person, actually, no, I'm not going to accept that. But when I go on my dates, guess what I used to do? I would mold myself into what I wanted that person, or what I thought that person wants in a girl. That did not work out. Then I met John, my darling husband. We had a baby, Eniola. When Eniola was born, something started to happen. The real me couldn't stand it anymore. The real me thought, you cannot bring up a child if you don't know yourself. You're going to pour your insecurity on that child. You need to start working on yourself. There is no way you can love a child unconditionally if you don't even know yourself. I was a stay-at-home mom, so my fancy clothes, guess what, could not define me anymore. My job could not define me. I had to look for my purpose. And one day, as a stay-at-home mom, Eniola was in a basket. Oprah came on TV. I think it was ITV or Channel 4, can't remember. And she started saying something about purpose. She started saying, it's my duty. She said, it's your duty to find out your purpose. It's your duty to know why you're here. And that sowed a seed in me. A few days later, I tuned in again. She brought in another guest. And the guest was saying something about, you can heal your life. She said, in order for you to heal your life, you need to know who you are. And in order for you to know who you are, you must be able to love yourself. And she said, every morning, you should be able to look in the mirror and say, I love you. I thought that was a bit weird. Who looks in the mirror and say, I love you? But guess what I did? 5 a.m. the next morning, I woke up, I went downstairs, looked in my bathroom mirror, a big mirror. I looked in the mirror for the first time in my life. I feel so emotional saying this. I saw Yvonne. I saw me. I did not see the woman that, when I'm getting dressed, that wasn't who I saw. I could not even look at myself. It was strange. I ran out because I was scared. Every morning for months, I showed up. I could not tell anybody because to them, that would have been weird. Every morning I showed up, and one day, I looked in the mirror and I said, Yvonne, I love you very, very, very much. That was my breakthrough. That was how I found myself. That was the journey I needed. To conclude this, I've gone over time. My life's journey is why I'm standing here right now. It wasn't a mistake that I didn't know myself. Without my life's journey, there's no me. Without me, I wouldn't have the fashion brand I have right now. Every single thing that I create has me woven in it because I'm not trying to be somebody else. I don't want to stink. I don't want that bad smell. One thing I'm going to tell you is that fitting in is so easy. It's the easiest thing that you can do because nobody sees you. You hide. But you will never find your purpose if that happens. If you're going to take one thing away tonight, it's this. And I want us, if possible, to read it together. It says, no matter how far away from yourself you may have strayed, there is always a path back. You already know who you are and how you fulfill your destiny, and your ruby slippers are ready to carry you home. Thank you very much. Have a great evening.